Hello everyone, welcome to my channel video. A brief moment that was supposed to be an ode to precision turned into one defined by bizarreness for Kaitlyn Chen. The moment unfolded on Wednesday at the AU Pro Basketball League, where Chen was competing for Team Rhythm against Team Glow. The reality set in the fourth quarter of the game when a foul on Chen for what was a simple celebration prompted the fans to push back against the officials. With Team Glow leading at 61-66, Chen drove toward the basket aggressively to score a near-perfect jump shot to bridge the gap down to 3 points. Her celebration included just a spirited cheer-up followed by an and one call to the referee for a foul. But what followed was immensely surprising. The officials immediately issued her a technical foul, sending Team Glow to the free throw line. Chen handled the situation with poise, though, and just stood on the court smiling. From the broadcast room, the moment got a playful reaction from Sydney Colson. A Kaitlyn Chen technical? Let's go. I can't wait to talk to her after this, she said. Canna Taylor failed to convert from the line in the next sequence of play. Thus, it didn't cause much harm to the scoring in a back-and-forth tie-rope game. By the end of the game, Chen had logged 14 points in her 35-minute stay on the court. Her precise shooting was on display yet again, scoring 5 of 8 from open play for 75% and 2 of 2 from the deep. Chen complimented her captain, Rebecca Gardner, perfectly, who led with a team-high 18 points in the game. Yet despite these performances, Team Rhythm lost the matchup by a narrow 2-point margin, 78-80. However, the spotlight from the game fell entirely on the bizarre officiating call. Fans didn't take too long to call out the officials, even tying it to other similar officiating incidents. Fans react to bizarre Kaitlyn Chen foul. These refs carry way too much power. The rules need to be re-examined at this point, a fan wrote. So refs are soft everywhere? Questioned another. Suspectable officiating isn't something new in women's basketball. Be it WNBA, NCAA, or Unrivaled, there have been instances when games were badly affected by officials' decisions. Frequent whistles and inconsistencies are terms coaches often use to describe officiating at this end of the spectrum. Kaitlyn Chen's head coach at the Golden State Valkyries, Natalia Nakase, also raised her voice against WNBA officiating last season. The instance occurred during the playoffs against the Minnesota Lynx. After Game 1, the Valkyries coach called on officials to give her team a fair fight, saying the officiating had tilted in favor of the opposition. She later revealed that she was fine for those comments. All in all, the calls, similar to the above comments, have been synchronous, give women's basketball a better outlook, starting with the officiating. I'm seeing this as a UConn thing faced with tears of joy, commented another. Didn't Paige Beckers get her technical for the exact same reason? Wrote another. The netizens also didn't hesitate to draw parallels between this incident and the one involving her former UConn teammate, Paige Buchers. It took place last season in the WNBA, where Buchers and the Dallas Wings faced off against the Connecticut Sun. Buchers made an appeal to the official regarding an alleged contact, stating, and won. The officials handed Buchers a technical instead, which was another bizarre incident. I clapped twice and I said, and won. And he said I clapped in his face. So that's all, Buchers said while explaining how the situation unfolded. Yet despite that, there isn't much to validate that it's a trait they picked up simply from being on the same team, the UConn Huskies. Very much on brand for the Huskies, because they will laugh about anything faced with tears of joy, 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 remarked another. Sure, it's fun to joke that the Huskies are always laughing, and it's easy to see why. Both Chen and Buchers are cheerful and have had plenty of fun moments at UConn and in their pro careers. But in general, that doesn't quite capture the Huskies. Guided by a veteran coach like Gino Orima, the UConn Huskies women's basketball players are some of the most no-nonsense players in the league. Be it young stars like Buchers or Chun, or seasoned vets like Tina Charles and Brianna Stewart, the focus of them is pinpoint on their business on the court. Regardless, the main takeaway is clear. Across women's basketball, officiating still has room for improvement and needs to be fair. Kaitlyn Chen and the night of celebration sparked a debate. It was supposed to be a small moment, a made basket, a quick clap, a subtle gesture toward the bench. Instead, it turned into one of the most talked about whistles of the week. When Kaitlyn Chen was assessed a technical foul for what many described as a simple celebration, the reaction was immediate and loud. Within minutes, fans flooded social media with one question that quickly became a rallying cry. Refs are soft everywhere. The play itself wasn't controversial. Chen had just knocked down a tough shot, absorbing contact in the process. As she backpedaled, she gave a brief celebratory motion, not directed at an opponent, not prolonged, not theatrical. But the whistle blew anyway. Technical foul. The arena buzzed in confusion. Chen's expression said it all, half disbelief, half frustration. Her teammate stepped in quickly, trying to keep the moment from escalating. But the damage was done. What could have been a momentum-building spark became a pause filled with questions. The thin line between passion and penalty. The modern game, especially in the WNBA, thrives on emotion. Players are expressive. They celebrate big shots. They show fire. It's part of what's made the league's growth so explosive in recent seasons. Fans don't just want fundamentals. They want personality. Chen's celebration didn't appear excessive. There was no taunting, no pointing, no confrontation. It was the kind of reaction seen dozens of times across professional basketball courts, a split-second release of adrenaline. That's why the whistle felt jarring. Across social platforms, fans compared the moment to similar reactions in other leagues, including the NBA. If that's a tech, one fan wrote, then half the league would foul out on emotion alone. Others argued that officials are cracking down league-wide, not just in the WNBA, on anything that could be interpreted as unsportsmanlike. The broader emphasis on sportsmanship and respect has led to tighter enforcement in recent seasons. But critics say the pendulum may be swinging too far. A league built on competitive fire. The irony? The WNBA's surge in popularity has been fueled by authenticity. From intense rivalries to viral on-court moments, fans have embraced the raw competitiveness. Celebrations are part of storytelling. They build connection. They humanize athletes. Chen, known for her composure and steady play, isn't a player known for excessive antics. That made the technical feel even more surprising. Teammates reportedly reassured her during the timeout. Keep playing, stay locked in. And she did. But the conversation didn't stop when the game ended. The bigger conversation about officiating. Officiating has always been one of sports' most sensitive topics. Too lenient, and games risk losing structure. Too strict, and spontaneity disappears. The phrase refs are soft everywhere wasn't just frustration. It was commentary on what fans see as an increasing clampdown on emotion across professional sports. In basketball, emotion isn't separate from performance. It fuels it. Players feed off energy. Arenas respond to visible passion. When a quick celebration leads to a technical, it raises a difficult question. Where exactly is the line? If celebrations are allowed only when silent and subtle, do they still feel authentic? Respect versus expression. To be fair, officials operate under league guidelines. If they interpret gesture as directed toward an opponent or as potentially escalating tensions, they're empowered to act. But context matters. In Chen's case, many viewers felt context was missing from the decision. The celebration didn't appear confrontational. It felt internal, a moment of pride after a tough play. And that's why the backlash resonated. Moving forward, the beauty of professional basketball lies in its balance. Discipline and freedom, structure and flair. The WNBA's growth suggests fans crave both. Chen didn't lash out publicly. She didn't make headlines with criticism. Instead, her play did the talking. That restraint may ultimately speak louder than any whistle. Still, the debate lingers. As leagues evolve, so do expectations. Players want room to breathe. Fans want authenticity. Officials want control and consistency. Somewhere between those three lies the answer. But on that particular night, one brief celebration became a symbol of something bigger. A reminder that in today's sports world, even joy can draw a whistle. And whether fans believe referees are soft everywhere or simply enforcing the rule book, one thing is certain. Moments like these keep the conversation alive and the passion burning.